if I just went there and then, you know, I tried to get in, they'd be like, who's this Asian kid? Like, where's his parents? Yo, what's good, YouTubes? This is your boy in the NYC. It's me, Ray, and this is the EDCCP. That's the Everyday City Carry podcast. I have a special guest on today. I say that about all my guests because they are all special in one way or another. We have Carlos from Daily Carry Solutions. What's up, buddy?
Glad to be on again, man. I'm sorry. I thought you were going to catch me mid-drink and stuff. I was going to be like, hey, guys, how you doing?
Okay. Yeah. It's okay. I'm going to I'm going to drink on them right now, you know? We had to have you on. You're doing SHOT Show, which is going to make a lot of people envious. You're also doing coverage for SHOT Show. And you were like, yo, man. So how did that come about? I know you talked about it last time, but let's briefly go over it. And what are your plans for this year?
Okay, well, SHOT Show actually came about indirectly from Blade Show 2019. I had always been a fan of companies like VanQuest, and I had the opportunity to be able to go ahead and shoot a couple of videos with VanQuest. And you know, they once everything was done, and you know, my media partner Eric from the Outer Limitless channel, he edited everything, and he's a whiz at that. He said, you know, we did 3 videos at the booth, and then we sent them the footage, and they were so impressed. And I mean, they have a lot of people that do reviews for them. They reached out to us, and they're like, hey, would you guys be interested in, you know, maybe shooting some footage with us at SHOT Show? And I'm like, that's in Vegas, man. You know, I haven't been there in such a long time. I haven't been there since I was a little kid, and they would throw me out of the casinos because, you know, I was too young to go. So tentatively we said yes, and then as the dates got a little bit closer, you know, you start looking at flights and you start looking at hotels and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do it this year, because I have been wanting to do SHOT Show for probably before I even started my channel, but it's industry only. And I kind of felt like, okay, I'm being chosen to go now. And, you know, the page, my YouTube channel and the kind of the branding, the whole DCS thing, it still hasn't really kind of hit that stride. So it felt really cool, and it felt very, you know.
Hey, hold on a second. Come on. Yeah. Look, we're getting some.
Hey.
How's it going, baby?
I have to get my girlfriend in here. We're gonna do.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay. Jesus. So back to SHOT Show. You were talking about your channel.
Yeah.
And what were you saying about your channel? Like, your brand hasn't kind of like come to fruition yet, or is that what you were going with?
Yeah, you know, there's so many other channels that have really come up, you know, in 2019. You know, you had Neve's Knives, there's Zach Stuff, you know, and a lot of other people that we've been able to interact with, you know, Big Red EDC and Blade Banter and all these other ones. And I think that out of the core of people that we all know, I think myself and Zach Stuff are the only ones that are actually heading to SHOT Show, you know. So there's a lot of people that may do reviews at you know, on YouTube and do reviews on Instagram and different places, but there's just a smaller amount of people that actually go in person and can actually, you know, provide footage, you know, meaningful content at places like that. So it's cool to be considered part of that at such an early stage. And I like it a lot. I had a blast at Blade Show with Eric. It was nice meeting the people that you usually just reach out to via message or via email, you know, and kind of, you know, schmooze with them, you know, via email and stuff. But you don't want to feel like you're the person waiting for the handout, you know, like the hundreds of other people that want, oh, let me test your stuff, let me check out your stuff. You know, you actually go to see them. You're like, wow, you know, it's nice to actually meet these people, put a face to the name, and build on that relationship, which is why I can't wait till you go to Blade Show, man. I mean, we talked about it last time, and it's going to happen. It'll happen one day.
I think I want to go to Blade Show and, of course, meet the people that obviously have no idea who I am, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but, you know, it's always
pictures.
fun to come in. This is what I loved about the EDC community in general. It's like I came into a community where like my kind of personality wasn't very present, I feel, right? Kind of like a more eccentric. And people say like, oh, he's a young guy, but I'm older than some people. I'm 39 years old. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really weird. I want to go back to, you were talking about your channel, how like the brand of the channel, like you feel like hasn't come to fruition yet. And what did you mean in SHOT Show when it was industry only? So it was invite only and people that were actually exhibiting, or like, what did you mean by that?
Okay, so it's a trade show. SHOT Show, I believe, it stands for Sports, Hunting, and Outdoor Trade Show, SHOT. So basically, the only people that are registered to attend are people that fit that portion of the general EDC community, I guess, and the hunting community, that sort of thing. So if you're a manufacturer, if you're a wholesaler, if you're a distributor, if you're a brand, whether it's firearms, whether it's, optics, knives, flashlights, that sort of thing, it typically caters for people that are in the industry supplying these things to individuals and civilians. And it gives the opportunity for everybody to kind of meet and network for, say, supplies or collaborations. And it also is kind of like the window to what comes for that particular year, what the new lineup for items are. Like a lot of people that are YouTubers that associate a lot with certain companies, they get invited as media, and then what they do is they go in and they're able to go ahead and get a first look at everything that comes out for that year, as an example.
Yeah. So they do invite brand ambassadors or like social media influencers, right?
Yes.
They do.
They're considered content creators.
Yes, content creator is the other cringy thing that we are called.
Yes, yeah. Insert generic name here. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're a content creator.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm hoping that with Blade Show, when I do go, and you and I are definitely gonna chill when I go there, is the year after that, and all the exhibitors are like, yeah, Daily Carry Solutions, I like meeting him. Let's give him a thing. And who's that crazy guy from New York City? Let's get him on board. That's what I want.
Get the Asian kid.
Let's get some flavor in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. We're going into this having been approved as media. A company has to vouch for you if you're a content creator. That's the important thing. You can't just be somebody off the street or a civilian and just walk in and be like, okay, I'm going into SHOT Show. They're going to be like, sorry, buddy, this is not for you. Go to one of the casinos and get drunk, play some roulette, and get the hell out of here.
You gotta have some kind of badge that is given by an exhibitor, or you're invited by the show. But let's get real here. They're going to give Melissa Backwoods a badge, like no matter what, like these kind of personalities in our world.
They will.
Yeah.
But typically it's because of the fact that while she is there, like say Melissa Backwoods, she will probably be there on behalf of a company.
Right. No, I'm not knocking on her. I loved her on Naked and Afraid. Like some of the best episodes. Kelly and I love that show. So we watch it all the time. But what I'm saying is, like, if I just went there and then, I try to get in, they'd be like, who's this Asian kid? Like, where's his parents? You know what I mean? Like,
pretty much. They'd be like, kid, you're lost. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
There are other things that go on during the week. As an example, Olight is having something on, I want to say Wednesday during that week. It's you can RSVP. Excuse me, my bad. It's RSVP only, and it's basically their unveiling of the new lineup for 2020, and it's outside of SHOT Show. So even if you go to SHOT Show, you have to You can RSVP, for this particular event, and it doesn't matter if you're a Joe Schmo or a content creator or somebody. They prefer somebody that's a content creator, because that way you know, they could link up with them and they can provide them
That's
with
outside.
just an outsider, just an average Joe.
I mean, you were talking about that event. That's like within SHOT Show, or that's like
it's separate. It's in a separate location
Okay.
outside of SHOT Show. It's
Gotcha.
not directly affiliated with SHOT Show, but it's timed in during the schedule of SHOT Show. Which
Yeah, it's strategic for sure to put it like at that time when a lot of traffic is going to be there. Man, I was going to ask something. Oh yeah, and so just to let folks know, when is SHOT Show?
Okay, so SHOT Show is actually from January 21st to the 24th. Technically, it's the 20th through the 24th, so it goes from Monday to Friday. But Monday is not technically SHOT Show. What it is it's Industry Day,
and it's like for press and industry. No,
kind of. It's basically Range Day. Everybody goes off-site to an outdoor range, a shooting range, and all of the the big name firearms companies and the companies that are trying to make a name for themselves, they have all of their products. You can shoot, you know, all different types of pistols, you know, shotguns, rifles, semi-automatic, some full auto, depending on, you know, the company and what they're offering as promos. And then they have other companies that that offer accessories for stuff like that. And so that's technically Monday. That's like the icebreaker for the show. But that's I'm able to get into SHOT Show with my credentials, and I can't get into Industry Day because you have to be. It's like there's like VIP and then there's like ultra VIP. It's like, oh, you have the yellow pass. No, you need the blue one.
Yeah, but like who can get in there? Like Nut and Fancy or something, or like.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, like somebody like huge on the tube, you know, that's like in the sort of, you know, the gear-centric world. You know what I mean? That's understandable, man. You know, we'll have that cred one day. We'll be we won't even RSVP and be like, oh my God.
Yeah, we'll be getting the emails like, dude, are you going? Like, you know, like, go on our behalf.
We'd love to come by our booth, you know. You know, back to you were talking about your channel and your brand, like having, you know, come to full fruition yet. Dude, congrats on 700 subs. It's funny, before you made that post on Instagram, I actually visited your page just to see, you know, because sometimes I go to my friend's page just to see what's going on. And I was like, oh, shit, he broke 700, right? And I remember the last time I checked, you were at like 200. So, like, did you have, like, very big growth? Like, what happened? You know, did you do anything different? Like...
Well, I was looking at my analytics because you know you got to be a nerd like that to be able to go ahead and make it happen. It's not just,
you know what's crazy? I never look at it.
I never did either.
It's really dumb. That's probably why my growth isn't that good, you know. But I do kind of look at it sometimes, but also like I don't want to. I'm gonna make content no matter what, so I don't want to be discouraged by numbers, which is like. The people that I follow that are big on social media that kind of like assist people in growing their brands and their channels and things like that, they're like, never look at the numbers. Just try to make the content that you want to watch. Like if you would watch it yourself, you just have to put it out there, and people that are like you that want to watch stuff like that, or that's who's going to watch you. So I don't really look at it that much, but I think I should a little bit. So keep going. Yeah.
So I actually never had. The only time I really look at, you know, say like the you know, just the inner workings of my account is when because I set all of my videos to approved comments. So then, because it gives me time not to be able to just filter out, you know, the spam comments, because there's always spam that people want to go ahead and put on there. But it gives me time to be able to respond individually to each person that has taken the time to go to my video, check it out, and actually respond, because I want to be able to be personal with my videos. I don't want to feel like I'm just pandering to the masses. I want people to come to my, you know, my channel, give it that personal touch, you know, like you do, and, you know, be able to go ahead and if they comment, you know, give them a nice response, you know, like a concise response, even if it's just, you know, they're being critical of my channel, like, oh my gosh, why did you do this, you know? And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with constructive criticism. You know, I like the haters too, because, you know, like they say, negative publicity and positive publicity is double publicity. You know, so it is what it is. And I mean, these things happen. the growth on my channel that I saw, and the difference between then and now that you said from 200 to 700, I noticed that, say, at the beginning, my videos, I think it would be every other month that I would have a video that would hit 1,000 or more. And I noticed that with the jump, especially, you know, before Blade Show, from Blade Show to now, I'm starting to hit videos every month that are over 1,000 views, you know, or I'm getting, you know, that many views a month. So, with at least one video. So it's more traffic that's coming over, and it's more unique traffic. It's not like just the same person coming by and doing it, you know. It's not me getting on alternate accounts, looking at it and liking it, you know, and stuff like that. Because there's people that are like that, and I'm not gonna put them out there.
While we're on the topic, have you, because you know the whole COPPA thing on YouTube has started, right? And you have to brand your videos, whether it's made for kids or not.
Yeah.
I don't know how bad of a strike, or if you get a warning if you don't do it, but since I am under 160 videos as of right now, I've literally changed all my videos to not made for kids. And it is, and I'm telling you right now, once I did that, like, my view count has been much less. What I've noticed, and a big jump in the quality of the comments. So I know that the people that do watch my stuff absolutely love it, because they leave completely meaningful stuff. There have been more people reaching out to me. Like, I had a kid reach out to me the other day, and it was from an Instagram account that I didn't know. And he was like, hey, listen, my dad is a very big fan of your YouTube channel, and he wants to send you a knife. Like, what address should he send it to? So this is like a dude that doesn't really do social media, had his son message me. This kind of like stuff like that has been happening more and more, right? But I have been seeing less viewers, and I don't know, I just got ahead of it because I don't want to go through this year and not worry about it, and then all of a sudden YouTube is like, yo, we're taking channels down who haven't done it this year. Because, you know, I'm not saying it's the YouTube apocalypse again. Like, I talked about this with Mr. Old Man, the COPPA thing. Have you changed it, or?
I haven't gone back to change it, but that is something that I'm looking a lot into.
How about the new ones?
Well, no, the new ones I'm using the new format. I have noticed that there is a drop in overall viewer, you know, count. But at the end of the day, it's in all honesty, I don't like the fact that they're doing that, because I mean, for a kid to be able to find my stuff, like, I mean, he deserves to watch my videos. If he's gonna go in and check it out, and I mean, he's not gonna be able to go into a knife store and buy a knife or buy a gun or anything either, you know. But one thing that I have done with my past videos, just to make sure that there aren't any strikes on my accounts, or anything that was firearms related.
Yeah, you put
that. I did change.
How about the knife thing?
Moving forward from the time that I got the email where they changed their terms and conditions and they introduced the whole COPPA thing, I started to do that.
Basically, I went back and did it one by one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but luckily for me, like, I was looking at like Zach and JT, and these guys have so many. Metal Complex. Can you imagine Metal Complex? How many videos he puts out per day if he has to go all the way back? And there's no mega switch that's gonna do it. You have to go through YouTube Studio, and you have to do it one by one. Like, I literally have tweeted YouTube, I've tagged them, I've done like everything. I've tried to email, like, you know, there's no answer. You have to just go do it.
Yeah.
So
it's tough. It's tough. And I mean, say you're a channel with, you know, I don't know, 300 videos. Yeah. Even just 300, because there's people with a lot more. You know, at 3 minutes per video to do that. I mean, that's, you know,
that's about right. I would say it's about 1.5 to 3 minutes, depending on your connection and all that. Because you got to wait for it to load. You got to switch over to the next tab. You got to select the drop down, and it's kind of a bummer, man.
No, it's a pain, and the thing is, what they do is, as a result, if I'm not mistaken, they don't allow certain companies to advertise on your videos, and if it's specifically made for kids and you choose that it's made for kids, they no longer monetize those videos, because I don't know if you've seen it, but some of the biggest money makers on YouTube are like these channels with kids that it's just kids that are playing with like toys.
Yeah, and also adults that make kids content kind of like freak me out a little bit.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
kind of weird. It's kind of like dark web style stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just want to look at knives and make dick and fart jokes. I mean, that's really what my channel is becoming. I'm becoming that person. And like that's all I want to do. So I know that I'm gonna curse. I'm gonna like do all this stuff. But I'm scared. What if I say baby shark in one of my videos and it gets suggested to a little kid, and he's like, "Mommy, what is a fish paw?" You know what I mean? Like, so it's like a kid is like 8CR13 MOV. They're like, "What the fuck?" So I did change it. I was gonna talk about growth a little bit, because Neves Knives is a new channel that like basically like really kicked ass last year. Yeah, and I was the first person to comment on their video. They said this on my podcast. I saw them. I don't even know how I got to their content. I think they were commenting on my videos. I watched one of their videos. It was a two-son one, I think. And I said, you guys, if you keep doing this, you're going to get bigger. Because I knew it already. I was like, you have a very attractive young couple, very into knives, good banter. There's no way that people aren't going to be into them, right? Yeah. And, I asked them a little bit about what they did in terms of channel growth. And they said Metal Complex helped them a lot. They would hang out in his lives, and he would always be like, follow Neves Knives. So, bro, part of the content strategy for 2020 is to go into some lives. That's I would just pop into everybody's live and just shake things up.
Yeah. I mean, it's about really being around and really contributing. Like I think we talked about it in the last video with Zach stuff. Like that dude is freaking everywhere, man. I have a feeling there's like a team of clones of like Zach's clones, and they're commenting on all the videos and all the Instagram posts. He posts and he responds to every story that I put on Instagram. It's crazy. Bro, but he's such a cool cat, and I can't wait to meet him.
So nice, bro. I'm gonna meet him right now. At Vegas. He gives me like little, like keep it 100 or fire on like my Instagram stories on almost every single one. Yeah. Even Kelly's Instagram stories with me in it, he'll be like, like confetti, like party, whatever. You know what I mean? The emoji. Like he's doing that. He's always commenting on my podcast. I asked him how he does it. And he's like, I just add to watch later, and I just watch it whenever I can. I'm like, holy shit, dude. That's awesome. So crazy. Yeah. Back to SHOT Show now, since we sort of went off the rails with the YouTube stuff, which I love to do. I did it with Blade Banter. I did it with Neves Knives. We talked about YouTube a whole lot. But back to SHOT Show. Do you have? First of all, I wanted to ask: are you and the Outer Limitless channel? Are you guys pairing up again? Are you doing it separately? Like, what's going on?
We are. We're gonna do this again. We're kind of trying to work on polishing our format a little bit more. There's a lot of feedback that we got from the videos that we had. Like as an example, we had close to I have, at least on my end, about 39, almost 40 videos. Okay. From stuff that we did over at Blade Show. And one thing that always stuck out. And it was one person that commented, and I really appreciated it because it meant that person watched a few videos. He's like, hey, guys, your content is awesome. I really appreciate the fact that you looked at different things outside of just knives, but your intro is the same on every single one. Can you kind of maybe, like...
You know what? I was thinking the same thing, and I forgot.
Hey there, everybody. This is Eric from Outer Limitless.
And it's Carlos from Daily Carry Solutions.
Yeah. Just a slight change. His name is Eric, right? Just tell Eric to take a clip of an interesting clip of the video. Like it could be in the middle, it could be at the end or whatever, and just put it in the beginning. That's how big YouTubers do it. They'll, like this podcast, for example, will take a funny bit, like maybe me, trying to get into SHOT Show and them asking where my parents are. Maybe that'll be the beginning of the clip. I'm going to start doing that. That is a strategy that all of these YouTube gurus tell you to do, is have a clip in the beginning, so the person, as soon as they click on the video, they're watching something right away. I think that will help a lot. I do like the little intro thing, but put that at the very beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Just like a brief synopsis that engages the viewers so that they're like, okay, this is something I want to watch. Swipe right.
Or let's say you're talking to a Maxpedition guy and you guys are looking at a bag, just have like a maybe 1 to 3 sentences or whatever, and then people are like, oh shit, this is dope, I'm gonna check out. I always wanted to check out that bag or something like that. That is a really, really good comment, actually.
Yeah. That's why I really appreciate, and that's why I hold my comments, because I like to read every comment that comes in, so I can, either say, hey, thanks for checking out the video, and comment a little bit about, maybe a question that they had and an answer, or, something like that, and take it into feedback. And to the person who left that, I really appreciate that. That's something that, I've spoken to him about, and I feel that that's something that I'm going to be able to go ahead and take with me, and it's going to help contribute to the success of the channel overall. Aside from that, there's videos where I obviously I'm going to know a little bit more in as far as material that we are going to be looking at. Like, say for example, I'm a firearm guy, so when it comes to guns and that sort of thing. In fact,
how many guns do you have?
Several.
Like, what's several? Like 20,
like mine,
30?
I have one right now.
Looks fire, bro.
I'll unload it so
looks
that
fresh too, with the little red.
Yo. So this is my my Springfield Xds.
Yep.
It's the Mod 2. It's my 45 caliber. So it's got the big old stubby boys.
Yeah.
This was actually in my
something like that cost.
It varies. It varies through the year.
How much did yours cost?
Okay. Mine was about I want to say $350.
Okay.
About the price of, say, like, you want to buy a Sabenza? Well, this is my Sabenza.
That's that partnership at the firm money, yo. That's what that is, bro.
Don't tell my girlfriend. I didn't make it.
No, it looks like, it's funny that I forgot who asked me if I was into like firearms, and they're like, you're probably not because you're in New York City. But I was like, you know what? If I lived somewhere else, I don't see why I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I think they're cool. I don't have any opinion on them yet. Like, I think they look cool. I think they're cool. Yeah. I fired only a rifle when I was a kid in the Philippines, like shooting bottles and shit with my dad. And I like that. I was 5, but I'm pretty sure I like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I forgot. What were we talking about before this? It's my ADHD. I forgot what we were talking about.
No. I'm just going with it, man.
I asked you something, and then we got up to the guns.
Oh yeah, well, what we were talking about was video content.
Okay, gotcha.
I was saying that there were certain things that I know a little bit more about, which is why I talked about, the firearms and stuff like that. And then there are certain things that Eric knows, a lot more about, like, and we're going to be doing things where he takes point on certain videos and he talks a little bit more in front of the camera. I actually like his videos a lot because he gets in front of his own videos and he talks a bit, and he has like, I really enjoyed his videos and just the manner in which he talks, and he has almost like it's a confidence that comes from real time use of this equipment. He goes out and he camps, and
he's a bushcrafty guy. Right?
Yeah, he's an outdoorsman.
I checked out his channel.
Yeah, and let me tell you, his channel is only a small portion of who he really is as a person. I got to really get to, I got to know him as a person, and he's a Renaissance man. He's a musician. He's wicked on the drums. He does the guitar. He's part of a band. He's a wedding photographer. He has a full-time job. He has a wife and kids and a dog. And he somehow finds time to be able to do like his videos, and his production is fantastic. Mm-hmm. I'm fortunate to know somebody like him. And aside from that, he's so humble.
How did you two link up?
I found his YouTube channel because I was searching for fixed blade knives. I had gone to Blade Show one year, and I picked up an Ontario Rat number 3. It's the fixed blade Ontario Rat knife, because there's the Ontario Rat 1, which is the folder. It's the larger folder. and then there's the two, the slightly smaller, and then there's the 3, the 4, and stuff. And it's kind of like the SE series. There's the 3, the 4, and such. And I picked up the Rat 3. I got it for like a really good deal. And it came with, you know, micarta handles and 1095 high carbon steel. And I wanted to learn a little bit more about fixed blades. But aside from that, I wanted to learn a little bit more about K-bar knives, because K-bar had sponsored a silent auction that I had done at my job. There was a couple of other companies, but one of them was K-bar. And I know that they had made, you know, really good high quality knives. They have this guy named Ethan Becker, who was like old school, but I mean, you talk to him and he's like the Yoda of like the fixed blade world. He's crazy, and he's old like Yoda too, so it's kind of funny. But you know, so I started watching his videos, and there was one that I saw where Eric, he's like, I've got 5 knives here in front of me, and I'm gonna take them and I'm gonna thump on them. And I mean, the guy goes in, yeah, and it's, I mean, he has this really nice like Spyderco knife. And he's like, I'm probably going to hate myself when this video is over, but I don't care. I'm going to thump on this freaking Spyderco fixed blade. And it was beautiful. I mean, you know, the satin finish on the blade. It was one of those that it's like somebody would buy and they would hold it because it would probably get discontinued. And then they would sell for like 3 times the amount. And he gets it and he just destroys wood and all of this other stuff. He would literally try to break it, but doing stuff that he would do in the outdoors with that. I mean, different other fixed blades, learning how to, to use fire steels and flint steels, talking about bags and packs. And I really liked his videos. It was one of the few channels outside of like comic book, review things, because I'm a big comic book guy. And that I would watch from beginning to end, because I would listen to what he would say. He would narrate it really well at the beginning, and then you would see the action and stuff, and then the results. He would talk about it, how it felt in his hand, if it left any blisters, how bad that the blade was mangled up, how long he was able to thump on something without having to readjust his grip and fix it again, if there were any hot spots. A lot of things that translate into the folding knife community, like hot spots and like feeling cup. So I'm like, man, this is and so I engaged with him a little bit, and we exchanged emails, and I told him a little bit about what I was into and stuff, and he's like, oh well, maybe you should consider starting a channel one day. And I kind of like kept it in the back of my mind, and then one day it just kind of eventually started, and he was like the catalyst that started that.
That's awesome. That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
And then you guys just got to talking about Blade Show, and he was like, hey, why don't you? Yeah,
I mean, to this day, like I just got off the phone maybe about 20 minutes before, this whole started. And we just stayed in contact. We've exchanged products and stuff to review. Like, I've bought stuff from him. We've traded stuff. He's bought stuff from me. He came to Blade Show, and that was something that we had been talking about a lot, about eventually meeting up and eventually maybe, checking out, one of these trade shows and stuff. And he's like, how about if I bring some of my equipment and we go down, to Blade Show, and you can show me around and we can do something like that. So I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever. Because you hear a lot of people say that, and you're like, oh yeah, he's talking shit. He ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, like me, bro. Yeah, I'm coming to Blade, son, and I just like you guys just draw me in. You draw me in the picture. Like, yo, Ray was at the pit.
No, I'm gonna be the guy with like the sign that the popsicle stick that has like your face, and every time there's like a picture opportunity, I'll take a picture with somebody, and I'll be like, hey, can you take another one? And I'll be like. It'll be you. You'll be like.
Yo, before I forget, right? I'm looking in your area right now, and I see this fresh ass box in the back. That's fucking Yobo Tools, bro.
Yes.
Yo, they have the freshest box in the industry. However, the knives for me, it's like I think they have like still a lot of catching up to do. I do love the presentation, and they're very, very, very nice. They sent me some stuff too. Look at that box, dude.
Yeah.
That box is so really nice. Fresh, bro.
It's nice.
That box is so. It's not the squishy like cardboard either. It's nice, dude.
Yeah. It's funny. I mean, these are Chinese-made knives. Say what you want about Chinese companies. I tend to think differently, much differently.
Yeah,
from
me
them.
too. I like
But,
a lot of this stuff from there.
yeah. Say what you want, but their presentation is always on point. I mean, you got
Like Kaiser, for example, has fresh, bro. Their new,
like,
yeah. I was just gonna mention that their new like little cases.
yeah, I'll
Man,
put my glasses in there, man. Those
fresh,
things are
bro. So
awesome.
fresh. What'd you carry today, man?
I'm still carrying it actually.
Yeah.
This is the Best Tech XL. I'm still carrying
Won
this.
that. You won
Yes.
that.
Yeah, people will use something and then it's like, oh, I'm over and done with it. Go to the next thing. But I really like this blade. What you got?
I've got the Steel Wheel Sargus. Jake from jklm.ohio on Instagram sent this to me. Dude, the guy was like, hey man, it just came in the mail. I'm gonna send it to you tomorrow. Like, he didn't even carry it, bro. And I'm just like, thank you, dude. I really like it. It's kind of like the Shala, if you've ever used that before. Pretty much the same thing, just different just a different blade shape, same steel. The G10 is like so similar, bro. It's just a different shape. Pretty cool. But you said you had some other cool stuff you wanted to show me. What's going on with that, dude?
So before I show you that, I was going to tell you one of the companies that I am going to see at SHOT Show and to be, to get ready for that is Steel Will. So I am going to see them. I don't think that I had specifically reached out to them and that they confirmed, but they are tentatively, they're on my schedule. I'm going to there are a lot of companies that I'm going to go see. And a lot of them are going to be flashlight companies and knife companies and stuff like that. And a lot have actually confirmed. I don't want to let everything, out of the bag just yet.
Yeah.
But expect, Spyderco. I am going to stop by CRKT. I'm going to see.
We is going to be there. We, Civivi.
We and Civivi, I'm definitely going to be there. In fact, they contacted me to be a part of that. And I'm actually going to check out Artisan Cutlery.
Yeah.
I'm going to check out.
That's funny that you mentioned them because I have a funny story to tell you guys. I was trying, as you know, I don't make a lot of money right now, and the Apex Pass Around group is keeping the channel afloat with knife content. And I've been really good at not buying knives, saving money, that way I can take my girl out on a date once a week so I don't become single, right?
Smart man. Smart.
And the only two knives that I have bought since the release of the Civivi Elementum, okay? That's the last time I bought a knife. I bought one knife from Mikkel Williamson, the Red E folder, because there's no videos on that.
Very
and that set something up for us with the group, right? I'm gonna get that this week. I ordered that. Nice. And then I saw my boy, Daily Carry Solutions, post an Instagram story of the Artisan Cutlery RKOs being on sale. I wanted a small RKO, but they weren't the regular ones. They were the brass and copper ones. So light bulb flashed up on top of my head, and I was like, listen, I'm going to get the copper one, going to take a copper picture for the gram, right? all my other copper stuff. And also, I kind of, Artisan Cutlery sent me a small RKO way back to review. I never reviewed it. I mean, as a content creator, that is probably the worst thing you can do.
Oh,
but at the time, I mean, I put it in a lot of videos. It definitely got a lot of press time, pictures, stories. I put it in a lot of podcasts. I unboxed with it. I did a lot of stuff with it. I just didn't do a full review because at the time I wasn't sure if I was going to do reviews anymore. I was not sure. I just started podcasting. I fell in love with the format. And I love podcasting now. Now that I've figured out how to fit that into my weekly schedule, right? Yeah. So much time has passed, and in that $50 arena, right, of that $50 budget knife arena, there's so many things that came out after the small RKO that I felt like it wouldn't even be fair for me to just point out some of the flaws. Because at that time, I think when it was fresh, it was sick for that time. You know what I mean? When it came out, which is sometime last year. I'm going to do a comparison with that copper one. So thank you for putting that stories up. Because I didn't get it yet, though. You got it. You got it. Where is it?
It's right here, man. And I was so tempted to open it, but I'm like, man, you know what? I'm gonna save it for the video. I didn't want to open it yet. I did take it out of the box, as you can see. I mean, it's not in the box, but I saw it, and I was dying. I wanted to get the Archeo, the original one, the small version, but I wanted the one with the contoured scales. I didn't want them with like the flat G10, because you can get it one of two ways. They had the flat G10 scales, and then they have some that were
rounder one.
Yes, yeah.
I got the rounder one. Yeah,
okay, that one's really nice. Yeah,
I do like it. I do like it.
Yeah,
I thought that in that realm, those specs, D2 blade, that size, I thought it was gonna be king. And then one of my viewers sent me the fucking COPPA prototype, the Odium. Dude, that is a killer, bro. The Ferrum Forge one. After that, that's when I was like, I can't do a review of this because the Odium isn't even out yet.
Yeah.
And I did a review of that. So it's kind of like I didn't want to compare the two, but with the copper one, with the copper one that I'm getting and this one, I'm going to do a big feature on it. Sorry, Artisan Cutlery. Thank you for sending me this.
Thank you. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that because I got this for two reasons. Number one, like I said, I always wanted a small Archeo, and they didn't really have the one that I wanted. And number two, I've been friends with Dylan Mallory, the one that actually designed the knife, for a little while already. We officially met at Blade Show. I got to hang out with him at the pit. He was
from Georgia.
Huh? Yes. Yeah, he's from Georgia, and this year, actually in January, he celebrated his first anniversary of his first production folder coming out, which was the Archeo with Artisan Cutlery. So I said, man, I'm cool with this kid, and we've been talking about his knives. All the people I know have them because you teased. I think it was the Centros. I think that you had. I think you have the carbon fiber one or something. And I'm like, man, like I don't have a single knife of this kid's, man. Like I felt so bad. Yeah. So I actually I went onto our website and they had a sale on the Centros. And I picked up the gray G10 version. I'm like, awesome, okay. It's a little big. It's not really what I like to carry, but I figured, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to carry that one. So, I'll try it out. And I like it. I like it a lot. And then
is that the one with the kind of like roundish flipper tab? Is that
one? No, the Archeo.
Oh, that one. The thumb stutter. Okay, I did do a thing on that. Yep, I did like that one.
I like it a lot more than I thought.
I like this guy's knives, man. I like them. Yeah, for sure. Like I'm excited to see what he does. He has like similar shapes, kind of spear-like almost. Very like nice profile, slim. Exactly what I want. So yeah. I do like his stuff a lot.
They're uniquely his. Like you can tell when they're his. I like his logo. It's that M. It kind of, it's just, when it's a Dylan Mallory design, and he has the good name for it and everything. It's like, it's the Ken Onion, and then there's the Dylan Mallory, the O-Stop Hell.
Spring to it, man.
So there's a nice spring to it, yeah. And he's super humble, and I told myself, you know what? Okay, so I have that one for everyday carry, and but I work in an office, so I'd like to get something that I can use in the office. And I shit you not, man. That morning, I think it was maybe that when I had posted about the knife that morning, Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Shameless plug for these people because they don't pay me for this crap. Smoky Mountain Knife Works, they had sent me something, say, hey, subscribe to our, our mailing list via text, and we'll send you like a $5 off coupon for something, that's over $49.99.
Dude, how do you guys? Oh, it's just like from the email, like that you sign up with when you join their site. I thought it was like some creator thing. Like nobody sends me anything. Zach is like, hey, Smoky Mountain Knife Works reached out to me and sent me 10 knives to review. I'm like, how the fuck do you guys do this?
I don't know how they do that. I'm not that cool yet. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, oh yeah, and Zach, this is how nice of a person Zach is. He said, I tried to send them back. And they said to just keep it. So I gave it away to all my viewers. I'm like, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could give all my stuff away and then just keep getting new stuff. But like you,
Yeah.
you know, I got to work for the things that I got. So I got that, you know, that a notification. I signed up, got the $5, whatever. And no sooner had I done that, did Dylan post, hey, they have exclusive brass and copper RKOs on Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I'm like, holy crap! I just signed up for this. Let me go ahead and check it out. They were $49.99, and I got it. And the stupid coupon works for anything over $50. So what did I do? I bought like a 4-pack of like polishing cloths for like $1.99, like these things.
Yeah.
And I ended up paying ship priority. So it was basically, you know, saving like $5 off of the shipping. But it actually got here today, and this is actually what it looks like right here.
That's the brass one?
Yeah, it's the brass
That is
one.
beautiful, man.
It is really nice. It feels really good in the hand.
Yeah.
I love the blade shape. I mean, it's just, it's really.
I absolutely love it, man. I love the shape of the RKO and the small RKO.
And it's not a big knife. It's not a big knife per se. I mean, look, this just so you can see the difference between the Centros and you know, the RKO. There's a big difference.
That's my boy right there. Knives up, baby. That's what I'm talking about. You know, everybody does it this way. I always
no. Just show
only
like
one
this.
way to go, but up. No,
Exactly. Yeah, tips up. You know.
Yeah.
But I like it because it's two designs that are very similar in aesthetics. Yeah. But you have the flipper design for people that like the flipper, and it's ambidextrous. So whether you're a righty or a lefty, you can carry this. It's a liner lock, but I mean, it's going to be sturdy. You got freaking brass, you know, or copper scales on this thing.
But you got brass or copper?
I got brass, but it comes in either brass or copper. And this is the only time you're probably gonna see it look like this, because I'm gonna patina this.
Yeah. And what happens? What's gonna happen? Like, what kind of changes?
Okay. So
does it become like more of a brown, or is it like more of? Because no, I've seen a lot of metals patina, because I worked in the jewelry industry for a long time, and I also made furniture. So like patina is kind of like a thing. You use acids or some kind of corrosive material to change the color. It's
kind of a twofold type of thing. Number one, it changes like the composition of the metal or you know the material. It's kind of like
an oxidation or something.
It's kind of like but it's not, because what you're basically doing is it's creating a protection on the material to resist corrosion. So in reality, like for example, people that buy, there's a reason why, for example, fixed blades have, they're usually in 1095 high carbon steel. When you hear high carbon steel, it's because of the fact that when you have that blade coating on the steel, it's not just for looks, it's to be able to resist corrosion on that steel. So what people sometimes do, they strip that coating off. So it's just the steel. The only problem is it's bare, and it's not like stainless steel where it has the chromium and other, you know, elements necessary in the steel to be able to go ahead and resist corrosion. So what they do is they force a patina on it. And then what you do is you put, you use you basically force a protective coating on the actual steel. It'll darken sometimes when it's something like copper or brass or something like that. It'll turn a different color. Like I've seen some of the like the different scales and stuff that when they're patinaed, some will get dark, like and some will get almost like a different color. Like I've seen like a turquoise-ish kind of color come out on it. And then what you do is once it's been completely, you know, the patina has really set, they'll get like a clear, like a lacquer or something like that, or like a clear coat, and then they'll coat the top so that it'll stay that way. So it'll stay that way. But what it does is it creates a protective layer over, you know, whether
what
it's
kind of colors do you see like when you do that on brass? I mean, like for this guy, what are you expecting?
You know, it's the first time I have actually ever done that. I've actually ever done this, and I've only ever seen it done on copper. I've never seen it done on brass. So I mean, if I just hold it like this, the oils from my hand are going to darken it.
I was gonna mention that. Yeah, because I the first copper thing that I bought was the mini Natrix or whatever, the small one. Yeah, I have that, and I have like an Olight, like really small flashlight that has definitely seen, some patina on it. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah. It's getting rusted. A little bit of the Filipino oils from the pork belly is just rubbing on, the lechon sauce or whatever.
There you go. John, what's up?
Fucking, what was I gonna ask? You had some other cool stuff to show me, or?
I do. I actually just put a video up of this guy. This is a Kizer knife.
Yes, I remember. I saw the picture.
So I picked this guy up.
Fire.
Yeah. That's from.
So nice.
This is from Way of Knife and EDC Gearhouse. They have an exclusive with Kizer to be able to obtain the mini Sheepdog with G10 scales. It does have liners, but it has S35 VN steel. Okay. So basically, they get it's a jade version of this knife, and you buy it, and what they will do is they will customize it so that you have basically whatever you want. They will dye the steel. I'm sorry. They will acid blast the steel. They will they'll dye the G10. They have a new pocket clip. They'll do a bunch of stuff. And this was my personal one.
We had some technical difficulties. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm sorry. No. It was me. They shut off my internet for a second. I had to pay my bill. It is what it is. You buy knives, you don't have money. The cable
it gets
bill.
Tough. He had to sell a Savenza so he could pay the bill.
Times is rough.
Yeah. So you were talking about the Kizer Mini Sheepdog. It's an exclusive.
Yes. This is the Way of Knife and EDC Gearhouse exclusive Kizer Mini Sheepdog. I had done a review in the past, and feel free to go ahead and check out that video, shameless promotion of the Mini Sheepdog in titanium.
I love the Mini Sheepdog.
Okay, it's a cool little knife. The concept, the people that made it are probably going to be at SHOT Show. It's Sheepdog Knives, and I liked it a lot, but I'm not really that big of a fan of titanium. I like G10. I don't know. I don't know why. It just happens to be that I like this style, that tactile kind of G10. And they announced that they were going to come out with this version, which is different from the standard, like the Vanguard versions, which is like the value line that Kizer has, in that they have G10, but then it's like 154 cm steel. It's not bad. Usually those are like about in the 50 to 60 range. This one was 118, and the reason why it was 118 is because they came out with an exclusive to their website, a jade, scales and S35 VN steel.
Wow!
So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. It's like, the handle, it still has the liners and everything like that. It has G10. It's jade G10, and then it has the S35 VN steel blade, and then it has an exclusive clip. You can see that has the EDC Gearhouse logo, or Way of Knife MI. And what they do is, for a little bit extra money, they'll anodize, certain parts. They'll acid wash like the blade and then the clip, or they'll dye the scales different colors. So what I wanted them to do is just something different. I wanted them to do like a faded dye. So I had the bottom part dyed in like a yellow type of color, and then the top in like a navy blue color. So it has that kind of dye. Yeah, man. Yeah, so I did that, and then I did like the pivot collar right there in like that yellow, and I had them anodize the pivot in kind of like a goldish kind of color, and they also did the standoffs and the screws in that gold. But
does that cost extra, or is that?
It does. But if you buy any of the knives that you want them to mod from them, it's whatever the cost would normally be minus 30%. So they give you a 30% discount for doing that if you buy the knives through them. And this is an exclusive through them, so it's like you were going to get it cheaper than normal anyways. So the only things that I told them not to touch was the clip that they added. I had them keep it just the standard color. And the knife, I had them keep it just a standard color. I didn't have them put a mirror edge or anything like that. I have a KME and I have a Spyderco Sharp Maker, and I'm going to use this knife. So all that cool, the copper wash and the black wash and stuff, it's useless to me if I'm actually going to use this knife, you know? So I wanted to keep it just like that. And then the pocket clip, I like how it shows just like that. And when it's in your pocket, it actually rides pretty low considering it's not a deep carry clip. And that's just a standard unassuming, you know, pocket clip. I didn't want it to be any weird colors because I felt like if I'm gonna wear it, you know, I just prefer it to be the same color as the blade. You know, it looked good like that for me. And I've seen a whole bunch of other ones. Like they do all different types of colors. They do all different types of designs. If you check out their website, I mean, they have a lot of stuff on there. So they were really cool. I paid for it. Initially, it was sold out. I wanted to buy this back in like November, and they sold out. And then I had spoken to them around then, and I'm like, well, if it comes around, let me know. I'd be interested in getting one. You know, they're like, oh yeah, no, we'll let you know. And when you hear shit like that from a company, they're gonna be like, yeah, whatever, bro. Like, I'm gonna tell you out of the hundreds of people that inquire about this that, you know, hey, you know, we got a couple in stock. Do you want it now? Do you have money now? You know. So they actually did. And I'm like, oh, shoot. OK, so he told me he had 4, and there were 2 that were really good action. And then there were 2 that had a very light detent. And he's like, I can give you the one with the light detent at like a little bit of a discount. And but I would recommend you take one of the other, you know, the other 2 that's like really good action. And the action is really good. Yeah. You know, so I had the mods, you know, ordered. And the next day he got to work with them, and he started sending me pictures of the work in progress on Instagram.
That's crazy, bro.
I mean, totally cool, totally down to earth, like people. And, you know, he showed me the finished product, you know, and I'm like, box it up, send it to me. And they put it in a priority box and they sent it to me, and I got it. They sent it that morning on a Saturday, and I got it that Monday.
That's awesome.
You know, like I ordered it that Friday night. They started modding it on Saturday. They were able to get it in the mail, you know, Saturday morning. And I mean, it was in my hands that Monday. I thought that was super cool. So
that's awesome, man. When a company like goes above and beyond with the customer service, like I know I briefly touched on it that I bought that red E folder. So this guy who was the contact there, right? So they sent it to my old address. They have an American supplier who had it. You have to order through email to get it, right? But they had a local supply place like shipping it. So I was gonna get it actually today. They shipped it to the wrong address. So I am assuming that a guy wherever, what is it, Copenhagen, I think is where they're located, is talking to UPS. They're emailing me. I've emailed with them back and forth, like with the time difference and all that. They were like, oh, give us your phone number. We're going to get the address changed. And all this, this guy was from a different time zone and hitting me up at the same time while working with UPS. And finally, like, they changed it. And I'm just like, damn, dude. I can't believe they went through all that. That's hard.
It is. It's not easy. It's not easy. Yeah. But people, I mean, there's a lack. I think nowadays there's a lack of customer service and a lack of personalization, you know, and to find a company that's willing to go the extra mile, like they're worth spending the extra dollar on, in my opinion. And that's why whenever I have good experience with a company, I'll make sure that people know about it. Like Way of Knife and EDC Gear House, great to deal with. DLT Trading, if you ever have to deal with them, great to deal with. They send their stuff quick, fast, and in a hurry. Knife Joy, that's another one, and they accept PayPal, and they're really cool. They'll even do payment plans. So if like you're poor on the low, but you don't want to tell anybody, you like send them like, you know, your little PayPal payments and stuff like that. They'll put you on a plan, and they'll get you the knife that you want, so that you don't feel like you're breaking the bank. You know,
awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta do that, yo. Breaking the bank. That should be my new podcast, son. You know what I mean?
You heard it here first. You heard it here
Imagine
first.
breaking
Yeah.
the bank.
So I
what
got
do I?
one more.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Show it to me.
Actually, I got one. Well, it's actually two. Now,
Okay.
I got to tell you this. It comes with a little bit of a story. This would be the last two knives. Yeah, it'll be the last two knives.
Okay.
I actually have to say about that. So Kaiser was the first company that I actually ever reviewed a knife for.
Okay.
And
You mean they send it to you, or?
Yes, they sent me the first knife I ever had sent to me to review for the channel was a Kizer. It was an Azo design.
Which one was it?
It was called the Basalt.
Okay.
Not a lot of people know about it, but it's
I remember
really nice
that one.
knife. Yeah, it's my favorite knife. I have it to this day. I mean, it's a great knife. And you know, I'm like, man, you know, like his designs for Kizer are really, you know, good quality designs. He's come out with a bunch of different ones, and somebody reached out to me. It wasn't Azo, but somebody that he knows reached out to me and was like, hey, are you interested in checking out a prototype from Kizer? Because I know that you've dealt with them before. You've checked out some of their knives. You've reviewed some of them. I see them on your Instagram. And I was like, okay, well, first off, who the hell are you and what are you peddling? You know, like, well, what are you doing? Because if you got it, I want it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, somebody comes to you and tells you that they've got a prototype, you know, from a company that you've dealt with in the past. You're like, okay, well, I'll listen. And so he's like, okay, give me your address and give me your phone number. And I was like, what?
And he just sent it to you?
and like I was just kind of like, I was just standing there like,
I know.
What?
Yeah, I give people my work address to ship stuff to if I don't know them.
So I was being kind of weird about it, but you know, they're like, okay, it's in the mail. I gave them the info because, you know, I'm dumb. And, you know, you got to trust everybody on the internet. That's what Abraham Lincoln said, right?
Yeah.
So I gave him my address and I gave him my phone number. They gave me the tracking. And then lo and behold, about like a month later, this was like maybe 2 days after we had done our podcast.
Yeah.
Like a month after that, these knives came in.
What?
And so
really?
I have two knives here.
Oh, okay. Juicy.
They are from Kizer.
What?
One is a flipper knife. Okay.
Wait, so there's no pictures of this?
You can't look this up anywhere. You can't find it anywhere.
And you're sure it's okay for you to show this to me?
I can't. Well, the person out of, you know, for the sake of anonymity, told me, don't post a review of it yet. Yeah. Just, you know, look over the knives and let me know what you think of them. You know, they're like, he told me what the specs were going to be and what it is. Yeah. And he's like, for one of them, which is this one, the flipper, the detent ball is going to be readjusted, you know, during the final stages, you know, if it ends up going into production. So the only thing that he told me was the name of the knife, and it's called the Assassin.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so it's the Kaiser Assassin. Okay, you can't find this anywhere. Like I've tried to Google, YouTube, I tried everywhere. It's like these are ghost knives right here. It's like you see them, but they're not here. Yeah. So
breaking news, EDCCP.
I gotta
with my boy right now.
Exactly. I gotta throw it down hard for my boy. So this is one. This is the knife
juicy.
So you can see.
Wow.
It's nice. I mean, there's a couple of things that I would kind of change about it. But you probably can't see it, but right here.
Yeah, I see a little thing. Yeah.
It says prototype. It doesn't have the model number or anything. It's just right next to the thumb hole, and then right under it says Assassin, and then it has what looks like it's kind of like a maker's mark right here underneath where it says prototype. But it's a maker's mark that I have never seen from Kizer. So it's probably a new like designer that's working with them because they're working with a lot of new people. And So it's you know, it's like it's a brand new knife. I mean, I'll put it this way. You know, usually these will have model numbers. The model number on this is P1 for prototype 1.
That's
And
crazy.
the model number for this one, which is a front flipper, is P2. And it's, you know, that's these are the knives.
Wow. So he said you could show that one? Is that what he said? Or
Yeah, he said, you know, yeah, it's just
don't review it.
Yeah, not to post a review on my page just yet.
Yeah.
He told me to just go ahead and look over the knives, you know, use them and send him, you know, my feedback. What I thought.
I don't have any of this happening.
It's weird, man.
And you know what's fucked up? The only company who actually asked me to review a knife, I didn't fucking review it, dude. It's Artisan Cutlery. That's why when I get that COPPA shit, I'm gonna do like crazy cinematic, you know, and I'm gonna like say like, I'm sorry I didn't review the thing, but you know, do a whole crazy thing on it. Because that's why they hit me up.
Yeah.
They were like, you know, your small RKO review for the titanium version. Like the guy was like, I actually watched it and it was like really good. I'm like,
yeah,
dude, that looks so freaking cool. I mean, it's like, okay, so like just judging for the way the knives look, they look cool, right? But what's really cool is like what the process that you got them. It's kind of like an exciting thing for you right now, you know?
Yeah. To me, it's funny because when I look at the knife like this, it reminds me of a speedboat.
A little bit, yeah. Now that you say that,
you know,
a little bit.
So, it's got like a different style of blade to it. If you look at kind of like sweeps up like this, kind of like a scimitar, type of thing. And it's got the thumb hole, but you can open it. Obviously, this is the front flipper, so you can open it, you know, like a front flipper.
So it's same blade shape on both?
Yeah.
Dude, I love, you know what's crazy is like I love front flippers, man. I know some people are like, no, I don't like it. Like I actually love front flippers. I love them. Yeah.
I like this one a lot. And the weird thing about this is that you can use the front flipper or you can use the thumb hole. And I mean, it's dialed in very, very nicely. Like it's pretty awesome. So I'll tell you what, when he gives me the okay to do the review, I'll send you the front flipper.
Yes.
So that you can check out. Okay. That way you got a little something, you know.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about. Because I was gonna ask you, right? What do you have any Apex pass around knives on you right now?
I do.
What's pick one, and what's the one that you like the most right now from the Apex that you have right now?
There's one that the review is gonna go live soon. It's the Kunwu Knives Orion. It's this guy.
Oh, you motherfucker! You are the one that has it.
Yes, I just got it. Got it. It's
that's the Kickstarter one, right?
Yes, Stasa sent it to me, and Stasa 23. And I gotta tell you, and I liked it enough to where like I put a message on the pass around, like the group. I'm like, guys, just an FYI. This knife is dope.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that.
It's really nice. It feels great in the hand. Like the people and the premise behind this knife for it being a first design. I mean, there's a lot of things they took into detail. Like, you know, for one, okay, you notice like the handle has kind of like this kind of curve in the back, so that when it's in the pocket and you try to reach for it, this won't peck at your hand. And it's a small flipper. It's not really tiny, but it's small, and it's even angled not only on this side but on this side. Like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. Like just so you can see. Let me see here.
Yeah, I can see that there's something.
This is rounded. This has like a little bit of a
ramp almost,
but it's to the point where it doesn't mess. Like it flows with the top, it flows with the bottom, and it's super easy to be able to go ahead and open. The size on it, it seems like a big knife, but it's super lightweight for being titanium. It has the orange peel kind of texturing on the titanium, so it's not smooth titanium like these. So you actually feel like it's a little bit more tactile. It's got wire and red inlays inside of the carbon fiber here where the pivot is, and it's called laser strike carbon fiber. Okay.
Yeah, I see it. I can see it a little now.
The only other blade that I've seen that actually has this that I have reviewed is the Berg Blades Slim, and that's like a $300-something knife. Very nice knife.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a really, yo.
Yeah.
Like, did you sign up? Did you, are you going to check this out?
I did. I opted for it.
Okay, yeah. Because this is.
You're the one that has it. I'm like, I've got a few still on me right now. That was one that I was definitely interested in. The fit and finish, all that is amazing. How much is it again, the Kickstarter?
If I'm not mistaken, it's just over 100. I mean, look at that action. Did you see that?
What's the blade steel on it? Yeah, it's fucking smooth as hell.
S35.
Wow.
Yeah, I have not done anything to this. The only person that has actually laid a hand on this was Stasa.
Yeah.
Stasa 23 when he reviewed it, and he, typically he likes to take his knives apart, lube it, put it back together, see what's. And he didn't even want to work on it that much because he knew it was a part of the pass around and that it was going to go to the next person, which was me. And so I mean, the only thing he probably did was use it a little bit and strop it, and I mean.
That looks so awesome, dude.
The action on this,
that looks great. That looks great. I can't wait to get my hands on that.
You're gonna like this.
I'm the first one that got this, I think.
As a best tech, right?
Yeah, the fractal. It's kind of weird.
Right there.
Kind of weird,
no, but it's cool.
But very cool. You could use the thumb opening hole thingy. It's kind of like a geometric pattern. I don't know what shape that is because not a real Asian. You know what I mean? Not good at geometry.
That's a pentagon.
Yeah, is it? Mm-hmm. Is it?
Yeah, 5 sides.
Pentagon. There you go. Boom! Look at that.
Nice.
Awesome. And it's got that double grind thing, compound grind, right? Is that what that's called?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I am in grade 2, but I really like it. A lot of when I did the unboxing, people didn't like the ano on it. It is not my preferred color, but when you get it in person, like you could tell that it's good work. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I can say about it. It's got some I think that's carbon fiber. I don't know what it is though.
Yeah, I mean, the thing now isn't so much just carbon fiber, but they call it like marbled carbon fiber.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of carbon fiber that they stuck in the microwave and they put it in there for too long and it just kind of like melted. And they're like, fuck it, just throw it on there. They'll like it. It's marbled carbon fiber.
It looks all right, though. I can definitely see, like, because, you want to have it, like, seamless.
Yeah.
Right? And I can see, like, some seams in some parts. I don't know if they're going to tune that in or whatever. Is this, like, out already, this knife, or is it?
I don't know. I know it's definitely going to be at stock. It's going to be at SHOT Show, so I'll take a look at it, and I'll definitely ask if it's already out and what the pricing and stuff is going to be. I know that that's probably, like, one version of what they're offering,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is already out yet, but one thing that I didn't like about this, and I mean, it could be that...
That's the Orion.
The Orion from Kunwu, yeah, is that even though that this is the red, the laser strike carbon fiber, they have the backspacer that is titanium and it's been anodized, but they anodized it blue, and I didn't really understand that.
Yeah, it should be like the same color as whatever pop of color you have on the other thing, right?
Yeah, I figured, okay,
that's how I would feel.
Yeah, instead of the red, why don't you make it blue, you know, or even just regular, just the wire, just the standard, like silver, right. or make it so that this can be, like powder coated in red to go with this in red. That would look really cool.
Yeah, dude. I was just thinking that, like, if they were both red, it would be like, wow.
It would be. It would be, yeah. And I mean, but other than that, like another really cool thing that I like about it, and this is what makes the actual carbon fiber stick out a bit, is that instead of having the pivot screw on this side, it has it on the lock side. So what you have is basically like the pivot. It's sterile. So it looks it's a little subtle detail on the knife.
Yeah.
That's different from most of your other knives. Like if you look at most of the other knives,
it's
like,
on that
you're
side.
see that it's on the other side, So I thought that was pretty cool. They are very particular about educating the people who buy these knives the way that they heat treated their steel, and that's what really like made me want to look at this, because blade steel, and I'll probably make a video about this one day, because as I've learned about knives, you know, we talked about it like the other day. You're not really like a big like a steel.
Well,
like,
I mean, you know, I'm not part of HRC Gate. You know what I mean?
okay,
But
Yeah.
I do pay attention. I do know what it is, and I do know that steels have to be treated, you know, like a certain way. Some companies do it their own way, and they're better at using these steels than others. You know, I mean, yo, I watch Forged in Fire, baby. You know what I mean? You know,
my girlfriend loves that show, and I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus.
yeah,
But-
I watch it. I usually go on a binge when I do. You know what I mean? Like I'll just watch a whole bunch and then I'll stop watching it for a while. You know, Doug Marcaida. I mean, he's Filipino. You know what I'm saying? I gotta. Yeah, it's Keel. You know, he's probably my uncle or something.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I do know about it. Go on.
Okay, so like take for example D2. A lot of Chinese knives, like the value line and stuff like that, is being produced in D2, and everybody's like over it already because, oh my God, like why can't it be something different? Well, there's a reason why the like D2 quote unquote is used, and it's because of the fact that when it hits that optimal heat treatment for it, it'll last a crazy long time, and it's a nice durable steel, and it's
easier to work with, right? It's easier to work with in a factory or something like that.
It's cheap to buy, it's cheap to work with, you know, and when it's hardened correctly, it will put in some work, just like any other steel that's out there. But the cost for D2 as opposed to M390 or S35EN and stuff like that, there's such a disparity, there's such a difference, that it's cheap to build to take out, you know, large orders of billet, you know, D2, and then carve out knives with it, carve out, you know, blanks with it, and then just use that and start making blades. But people have been kind of deceived into thinking that if it's not M390 or, you know, not 20CV or S35EN or S90V or anything like that, any of the super steels now, that it ain't shit. You know, and I want to put it on record now that you're being duped if that's what you think.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel that way. Shout out to ATR13 MOV. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But, you know, since we're on topic, actually, what is your preferred like budget steel? Like, what is one that you like? I talked about this with Neve's Knives a little bit, and we both like the same one.
I like 14C28N.
That's my boy. I said the same thing.
Yeah.
That's the rake. That's on rake a lot, right? Yeah. Yep. Yo, dude, I love that steel. It's easy to sharpen for me too. Like a lot easier than D2. I love it. Yeah.
I like it because of the fact that you can sharpen this to a wicked edge.
Yep.
I mean, and with the right heat treatment, it's way better than even VG10. You know, which is, I mean, a really good quality steel too. I mean, it's something that you can use in your kitchen cutlery. You can use it on a fixed blade. You can use it on a folder. It's cheap enough for companies to be able to offer it at a good price. I mean, Rake sells these things, what, like $25, $30?
Yeah, $30, yeah.
You know, these are like beating Civivi in price. And I'm not going to lie, Rake was Civivi before Civivi was Civivi. And I'm just going to put it out there. Mad love for Rake. It is what it is. I mean, for a flashlight company to come out with knives like these, right out the gate,
they make some good stuff for sure.
Well, it's so good that even like now with their higher quality stuff, because they're starting to produce higher quality knives, they can't sell them as well. And it's not because they're bad knives. It's because their cheap knives are so damn good that nobody wants to buy their expensive ones, you know, when they can buy these.
You know, the thing about like how you were comparing Civivi and Rake, right? I think the difference with Civivi is that when they came out, I think like the general public and the EDC community was just so like action centered. Like they were like, oh, it's a great action. And Civivi, like everything that they have, the action is amazing. I think that's why they blew up so fast. Yeah. Because that's certainly what drew me to them. Like Rake, I've had not a lot. I've had some of their knives. Like even the 80, is that the 801?
Yeah.
Like
this is the 108. This is the 108.
108. I'm sorry. So like the action is good, but you can kind of like hold it a certain way and like, you know, like fuck it up. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? It's a good action, but it's kind of stiff. You're not going to flick that like all day, even though you can, but you're going to get some pain there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's not just that. It's just little things that sometimes, you know, corners can be cut, you know, at the factory and they'll let it go. You would never get something like that through somebody like, you know, Civivi. Like as an example, and I think I mentioned this in the channel, the pass around, like this knife, it came like with the tip dangerously close to the scales, to the point where you can lift it up, and it's like, just let me see if I could do it here, because my nails are kind of short right now, but like I can get it. And
yeah, I have a knife. So here, let me ask you something, right? I had like, are you doing that like give a knife, take a knife thing?
Yeah, but they haven't gotten to me yet, and I'm just like, hey guys.
I'm finally just getting it, I think. Cause like remember I did that picture of like Tyrone Biggums, and he's like, yo, Slice. No, see, here's the funny thing, okay? This is funny because it's the second time I've talked about Slicey on a podcast, and it's a funny situation. The first time was Benchmade Boxgate, right? So Slicey hits me up last week, and I completely understood. He said his house is a madhouse. One of his aunts got sick. There's family staying at his place. Things are getting crazy. And I was like, it's cool. Take your time, right? Slicey and I live in the same state. You know that, right? So if he sent something out today, for example, I will get it tomorrow. You know what I mean? So remember he said that it's on the way. So we're going to see if it gets in tomorrow, because I want to unbox these knives. And back to your thing with the knife tip kind of protruding so that it's kind of like a safety issue. I have a knife that does that, and it's $300. It's a cool one. It's fucking cool. And, you know, I might put it in the pass around group, because I'm thinking like at least the people that check it out after me are going to get to experience this knife, which is fucking cool. And if no one wants it and JT ends up keeping it and he likes it, that's great. But if he doesn't, he's Mr. eBay, bro. He's going to fucking just make mad profit and resell this thing. You know, that's what I'm thinking about doing. I never fucking use it. I bought it and I forgot that I did. And then I put money down for it. It took forever for it to come out. And all of a sudden, like, my ex was like, yo, my credit card got charged. What the fuck is this? And it was like over $100 too. I'm like, oh shit. I think the knife was like, I think it was like 310, yo. And there is that same issue that you're talking about right now.
Yeah, it's not so much of a big deal when you got a $25, $30 knife, because you're like, oh, whatever. You tend to think that it's going to be less perfect than that of a $250 to $300 knife. I'd be pissed if I ended up getting a knife that I put that much money into, dude, and that it did not exceed my expectations. You know, because it's like, dude, I worked hard, man.
I got cut by it many times. In the review, I actually showed like how many cuts I had on my index finger. But it was a really cool thing. Like I felt like I was being a part of like I was helping out the community, because the guy that made it is like it's pretty big in the community. Bro, I'm good.
I'm setting it up.
Is there anything you want to plug or anything you want to talk about more with SHOT Show? We've done over an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Great time with the homie.
Go ahead and wrap this up, because I gotta walk my dog, honestly.
Yeah.
But
so anything that you want to plug?
Yes. For SHOT Show, we are going to do at least 3 days worth of coverage. I was hoping to get the industry day at the range, but I wasn't able to do that. You know, you're going to see some stuff from a lot more than just knife companies, because of the kind of show it is. The format's going to be a little bit different, and but you're going to get a lot of really good high quality stuff. And I think as a result, even from the companies that have reached out to me, they're like, hey, look, you know, I mean, for every reviewer that comes by and checks it out, and I don't know if they do this all the time, or if they're doing this particularly for me because the channel's growing, or because they know Eric, but they kind of like let me in on the fact that, hey, you're going to come in and you need to keep some space in your luggage because you're going to leave with a lot of swag. And if I get a lot of swag, like, and stuff to take home, like, dope. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to show everybody, and I'm going to give it away. Like, I don't do giveaways on my channel. And so that's going to be something that I'm going to be really happy about, because it's like I win something like, like this, and everybody's like, oh man, when are you going to give it away? And I'm like,
dude, Zach does so many. Zach told me that's one of the reasons for channel growth is he did, till he got to 1,000, he did a giveaway every 100. And I was like, dude, but you're hooked up with Benchmade. That's why.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not. I'm just a poor,
Yeah, dude. I never even worked with Kaiser. You know what I'm saying? Some people say you need to have a great personality to do well on YouTube. Some would say I have the biggest, but I doesn't reflect on my channel growth.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be. When you're a YouTuber, it takes time to be able to get the good content that brings in the masses, but then a lot of these companies, they want you to have the masses in order to be able to provide content. So it's like it's kind of hard, because it's like you want to be able to provide exclusive content or content that people are going to watch, but the companies, they're not going to give you anything because you don't have people to watch the content that they're going to give you. So you have to work. You have to be willing to take rejection from some companies when you're like, hey, I'd like to check this out, whatever. And sometimes
I never do that. Do you do that?
In person.
I'm really bad with that. I know that, dude, Blade Banter told me he just hits companies up. Like, he like 100 of them. Like, hey, we have the Apex Pass Around group. That's how we're getting so many. Look how many companies work with us, bro.
Yeah, but what he's selling is the network of reviewers, right, and the sheer amount of views that you would get from it being passed around. Think about it. Would you want to deal with a guy that has, say, 1,000 subscribers to see your stuff, or would you prefer the visibility of a guy who says, hey, I got a network of like 20 guys that have anything from 500 to 50,000 subscribers? I'm gonna give it to the network.
Shabazz is in it, remember?
Well, yeah,
that's the crazy thing.
Exactly, yeah. So
Shabazz and Cedric and Ada.
And Mr. Oldman, too. He's got his viewers too.
I think he's 30K right now.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I've got 701 as of today.
Hey, bro, you grew fast. You grew big this year, man.
Yeah. So, and I've been told by companies like, hey, you don't have enough subs to be able to review a knife for me yet. And I wanted to be like, what? You want what? You thought you wanted to get a knife reviewed on my channel? Now I'm gonna buy one of your knives and I'm gonna bag it, and then and then I'm gonna return it because I didn't even like it. I'm not even gonna give it away. I'm gonna return it from the place that I got it from. So I'm gonna buy it just to bag it, and then I'm gonna return it, get my money back, and then buy my chick dinner. Like, and then I'm gonna feel good about myself. No, I don't do that. But I have like high companies do that.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's a part of growth. I mean, you're not going to get everything just given to you, but I've had a lot of companies that are willing to work with me, and a lot of people that have been very instrumental, and they've moved from company to company. And it's cool because when, say, like I'm going to something like SHOT Show, there are knife companies that are going to be there that I've met from, and I exchanged emails with prior to even Blade Show. And then I met them at Blade Show and we stayed in touch. And so then I'm seeing them again at SHOT Show and they're like, hey man, you got to pass by the booth. I'll introduce you to this person that works at this booth. So it's like before I even, started confirming people that I was going to go see, because I have a schedule that's like jam packed with like 40 or 50 vendors. A lot of them were like even pre-booked with me. And I'm like, dude, I'm just a fucking peon compared to some of these other, these other channels. And it's like, I've already got people that know me, that they like me. and they want to invest in the channel's growth and in helping and stuff like that. And they appreciate the feedback that I give on their knives, because I don't take 3, 5, maybe 7 minutes to do a review. I do like those longer 20, 25-minute reviews for people who kind of like play that stuff in the background while they're working, or maybe they're in the shower and they play it as they're in the shower so they can listen in, because that's my method. Those are the kind of videos that I watch, and I listen to. So, that's kind of the format that I use. And they like that. They like that I go the long haul with it. It's not just like, hey, I got it. It's got a great action. You can get it in all these colors. Here's my discount code. Take it easy. On to the next one. So, they're willing to work with me. And it feels really cool being able to go to SHOT Show knowing.
Dude, that's so amazing that you got an opportunity to do that, man. That's going to be awesome. Everybody, you got to check out. Is it going to come out on your channel, like the content, or what's going to happen?
It's going to be on 2 different channels. Okay. It's going to be the same content, but it's going to be on both Eric's channel, which is the Outer Limitless YouTube channel, and then it's going to be my channel, Daily Carry Solutions. Awesome. So if and I'm telling people right now, if they happen to see content from SHOT Show and you see like bags, or you see a booth, or you see somebody that's got like these patches and stuff on,
that's you, bro.
I want them to tag me in it, okay?
That's
on
awesome.
Instagram at Daily Carry Solutions, because I made a bunch of these, and I don't care if they rip them off after. I'm gonna stick them on like every piece of Velcro and hook and loop at the show. So it's like when people are walking by and you see like, oh man, I don't know, the Nut and Fancy project, for example. Yeah. It's got all these viewers and stuff, and he's talking about bags and stuff, and they're showing him a bag, and it's got like my patch and stuff on it. I don't care, man. Shameless promotion. It is what it is. You don't like it, rip it off. It's Daily Carry Solutions. I'm getting there. I'm legit.
There you go. See, you hustling. That's amazing, dude. Thank you so much for doing the show. This is much longer than we did initially. I think this one was much better. We've both gotten better at speaking to each other. This is a guy, totally my digital friend that I'll hang out with at Blade Show one day. Thank you for being on the show, man. Everybody check out his SHOT Show content when it comes out. Daily Carry Solutions on YouTube and also on Instagram. This is your boy in the NYC. It's me, Ray, and this is the EDCCP saying peace.
Yo, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so we can squad up in the comments.